Hey everyone, what's up? It's a beautiful day here. Look around here. The ladies are dancing. Today is the Sunday, so everyone is chilling out. Vance has said Chinese peasants. He used the peasants to describe the Chinese manufacturers or even Chinese nationals. It has offended a lot of people. Many people have gone bananas here. Yeah, I was born in the rustic area, and I was born there, and in the countryside, I know what the peasants' life is like. So I would like to use a little bit of time to explain why we are being offended. Yeah, I'm not personally offended. I'm not a narrow-minded guy. My mind is pretty widened, and I don't care. I don't care. I just regard it as the water of a duck's back, Personally, I'm not offended at all. He can call me Billy, Haley Billy man or whatever. I don't care. Yeah, I just want to explain why some people are raged here. In 1990s, I just want to depict something which was back in 1990s. Since I was in the countryside, I was a kid, I was a teen. Okay, peasant. As far as peasant is concerned, the peasants' life is pretty humble, very backbreaking, So in China in 1990s, the peasants had to work very hard. They had to plant the cotton, the rice, the wheat by their hands. They did the manual work every day. When the crops were not growing well, they couldn't afford the fertilizer. They just took some manure, the cow's droppings, even humans' stew, to be with the crops, and that's the crops grow better. So the life was very tough. So we call it the natural fertilizer, manure, cow's droppings, pigs' droppings, even humans' stew. And when they put it and buried along the crops like the cotton and rice or wheat, it grew fast and it grew well. And when the crops were ripe, and we didn't have the harvesting machinery, so we cut them by our hands. My God, I was experiencing it when I was in the village. When we cut it, and we had to take out the rice from the stems, We didn't have a machine neither. So we would put the rice in a flat ground, okay? We use a round stone, a big heavy stone, and let the cow lead the heavy stone, and the heavy stone just pressured the rice, and the rice would be separated from the stems. And then we took the stems away. You can imagine how hard it was. When the rice and wheat, were collected, they were wet. If you collect them directly and put them in your house, it would become rotten. So you have to let the sun shine, dry them. You have to do a lot of work. It's very backbreaking, very energy consuming. If you didn't have a good constitution, you couldn't bear it. You would become sick. Very hard. Sometimes when a storm, suddenly struck, you had to collect them immediately within 10 minutes, even 5 minutes. Otherwise, your crops would be wet. You said it was a disaster. The life was very hard. And when the crops were growing in the field, there were a lot of pesticide, a lot of pests and insects. So we would spray some medicine like the insecticides, pesticides. We didn't have the advanced machines, so we have to use our hands to press that equipment and spray it, and you walk in the field. Wow, my God! I still remember every scene of that life in the countryside. And another bad thing is like this: when the crops were collected, harvested, we had to plow the field. We didn't have the machines. We had the cows, buffaloes. Let the buffaloes and the cows plowed the field. And there was a piece of equipment, and the cow led the field to be plowed. So the man must control the cow and the buffalo by a stick with a rope on it. If the cow didn't work hard and it just slapped it, just say, hey, hurry up. In Chinese, ja. Something like this. God, you can imagine that was very tough. That is why Vance called us a peasant. So people just think a life like that, with manure, the life was tough, dirty, hard, dirty. The most important is, it's very, very dirty, filthy. So that is why we're unhappy here. I guess if you are interested in knowing more about the countryside back in 1990s, I would like to use one certain episode to discuss it, to expose it. Anyway, if you give me a like, if I can get 10 likes, I would like to use a little bit of time to talk about it. Okay, after my explanation of the countryside life back in 1990s, even at the early of the 21st century, it was the same. Now it's a little bit different, I know. A lot of machineries have replaced the laborers and the labor power forces. But back in 1990s and early of 21st century, it was like that. So that is why we're unhappy. I'm an exception. I'm okay. No matter what Vance talked, I'm okay. It's just like a water off a duck's back for me. I'm not a narrow-minded guy. I just think if he was happy, he can talk whatever he liked. If he didn't break any laws or whatever, if he was happy, if he talked that during the day, he was very exuberant, and he went back and he took some happiness for his family, and he was happy, and he had a great fun with his family after that attack. That was okay. Yeah, if he was happy, that is okay. Because if you like this video, just give me a like. I will see you guys later.